it would ultimately be another OEM++ episode because we do have one upgrade coming your way. But instead, I said to myself, you know, there are some things part of the OEM++ series that have not aged so gracefully. And I feel like it is important to let you, the consumer, know how some of them are, and now that they've been used for about 2 years. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and back to the channel. This is the Vikings Garage. Well, talk about behind the scenes here, huh? Here I am thinking that I'm doing a good thing, and lo and behold, yep, authorized vehicles only. Not so sure I'm authorized, but in my defense, this sign was kind of tilted down, so I think we're gonna move over there. On this review of some of the modifications that I've done to my 4Runner, I am going to include some that have aged not so well, some that I would still very much recommend. But I want to go ahead and start with the sponsor of today's video right here on this mirror. And as you probably already noticed, this is not stock. We went ahead, changed that one, and we also did improve on the bulb underneath here with an LED bulb. But what I'm bringing to you guys today is something that until today you did not know you could actually improve. Check it out. Some of you might remember how I showed you how to do an OEM swap with a mirror that has a built-in blind spot monitor. What you're looking at here is to untrained eye, two 4Runner mirrors, but they're actually a RAV4 mirror, and this is your 4Runner mirror. So you say to yourself, oh, this is a better option. You would be incorrect, because when you do that swap, what you happen to do is you lose the heating portion of it. And honestly, guys, that to me is a downgrade. But guess what? I found a company that has the solution. All right, here we go, guys. This is not by no way, shape, or form a scientific test, but I will give you guys the best possible scenario. You see the one cone there. Now I'm going to show you the difference with the Suma Performance mirror. And we went ahead and cones are still in the same spot, mirror same spot, and you see it for yourself. You have just now increased the visibility with these Suma Performance mirrors. Guys, this is a no-brainer. The images speak for themselves. I'm going to put the before and the after. Okay, now that we are in a quote-unquote public spot here, let's take a quick walk around this 4Runner, and I'm going to point out some things that might be obvious to some that might not be as obvious. Start off with, can't remember where I got these from. You see a problem there. What if I told you that is the second set? The first set was warranted. This one is coming out of my pocket. And needless to say that they are clearly not lasting very long. As you saw in the thumbnail of the video, this is after 2 years, and those are not even 2 years old. So, yes, that would be one of the components that I have added on to this 4Runner that I would definitely recommend, but proceed with caution. Do the necessary steps to install it in a way that it will not allow moisture to enter the wires. Otherwise, what you just saw there is what could happen. What else? In the exterior here, I'll show you another one. Again, you guys tuned in for a reason, and I'm going to provide. Not entirely sure if the sun glare is allowing this to show, but let's shut it. You guys, please tell me you see the moisture inside this third brake light. Now, I'm not totally opposed to these third brake light assemblies, but you can clearly see here a bit of moisture on the inside. And it's been doing this from day one. So, yes, fits the look that I'm going for. The blacked out look fits beautifully, but again, keep in mind, you might experience some moisture on your third brake light. These are all tips that I'm giving you guys based on my experience. I do not know if this is everybody's experience. If you, by any chance, have a different outcome, leave it in the comment section down below. Maybe I was supposed to do some sort of sealing, but you gotta understand, when you give somebody assembly, like in this case a third brake light assembly, out the box, you expect the consumer to be able to install it without any further modifications, and that is clearly not the case here. It irritates me that some of you guys will have to deal with things like this, and that's why I pointed out. Now the next one brings us right inside the vehicle, and this one was a very controversial one indeed. Let's see, we're gonna have to lower the AC as it is getting a little warmer around here. But as I'm sure you guys know, our 4Runners are lacking of an A-Pillar handle, which we went ahead and solved the issue. But as I'm sure once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Now mind you, the fit and finish is not spectacular either. This particular one, the stretch mark could have been avoided. Once you get the stretch mark there, forget it, it's not going anywhere. It could have been avoided had I trimmed the alignment piece that's on the inside. But now, unfortunately for me, I've been living with it. I do every now and then stare at it, because once you know it's there, it just doesn't go away. But again, this is a modification that by all means I do recommend doing. But unlike me, do remove the alignment trim that sits on the inside of this A-Pillar cover, and you should be A-okay, and yours will not have this marking there. But again, learning from my mistakes, that is perhaps something that you could avoid. Interior here, definitely still very much firm believer of these Cubbies. They're magnetized, they do not come off. I think that was extremely clever from the person that made them. You know, shameful plug there. They didn't ask me to say any of this. Again, you look around here and you see a lot of OEM components like the TRD shift knob, highly recommended. This is a throwback. You find this actually on some of the original OG trail that obviously have the mechanical transfer case engagement. It looks a little cheaper, to be honest with you, but it fits with the blackout scheme of all things. I definitely prefer these over these, mainly because the buttons on these are softer on the OEM, and these are so well done, and it's so hard to show here that even lighting goes through this area here. And I actually think this fits exactly the bill of the video that we're making here, as it is not just an improvement on the original, but it's very well executed nonetheless. Still within the exterior here, again guys, these are just small little things I want to point out to you, and you might be okay with them. These are things I notice after the fact. So window visors, I picked these specifically because they fit exactly to the T the 4Runner, and I think they are, in this particular situation, the best ones out there. Of course, if you have better ones, please feel free to point them out. But can you see the engraving that's going on that is very much noticeable from the inside? This is just a small thing, but it drives me crazy because I feel like they could have gone without that. And mind you, you don't see it from the outside. But when you look from the inside, you can see it. And yes, they put their logo, which is kind of normal nowadays. But this one, I think, is too much writing, especially for the passenger. Just a small little observation there on my part. Still in the back here, the ladder. This is definitely one of those modifications that I've done that I couldn't see this truck without. It fits it beautifully, especially when you consider that it's just a perfect match to your TRD Pro style. roof basket, or whatever you want to call that, roof rack. But if I had to say anything as far as this ladder is concerned, and it is a problem I've had from day one, is the bolts provided, which are not the ones you see here in the kit, rusted automatically. These are some that I've sourced over time, and yet again, here we are. I'm going to eventually have to find a different bolt setup. But super small little detail, but it's a detail nonetheless. When you buy this rack, you're going to find yourself shopping around for the bolts and nuts for it, which is perfectly fine, but it's something you should definitely be aware of. Great rack, not so great bolt and nut setup. In the trunk area here, very much still a huge fan of these color matching straps by Agency 6. Definitely highly recommended. While we're in the trunk, of course, you guys know there's no way I'm not going to mention this. I think this is still a must. Till this day, I think it's so neat. This was designed by a buddy of mine, and you can very much install this one-handed. Not a problem. It doesn't fit like 100%, but to be honest with you, I really don't care much for that. I care that it does secure my items as it should, and I think it does it beautifully when you consider how much it does cost. Would highly recommend having the floor mat here in the trunk, as it helps from keeping the elements from beating on your carpet. It's definitely, although it's OEM, it's definitely a must. Canvas back, I'm sure you guys probably noticed, it's still one of those things that I'm still trying to get the perfect one, so it's definitely something that I'll probably show you guys in the future. So what did you guys think? I hope you understand that I am beyond pleased with the way this 4Runner has come along. If I can give you a quick top 5, all right, we'll throw another one in there, of some of the modifications that are definitely some of my favorite. AGT Designs radio knobs are definitely up there. I absolutely love what they did with those knobs. That is, by all means, a clear definition of what I would call OEM++, because it is, in my personal opinion, better than the OEM knobs that it comes with. Another one right there, definitely the Morimoto stuff. Headlights, taillights, man, I'm a sucker for Morimoto. I think they do a great job and definitely changes the look of the truck. And speaking of changing the look of the truck, we can't forget the OEM rock sliders. I honestly do not picture this truck without them. Another one that most people think it is an OEM part, but it actually is not. It's a knockoff, is my skid plate. Why do I love it so much? Because I don't have to take it as much off. It has an access panel for the oil filter. And that, my friends, is a very clever move. What else do we got here? The tires. I definitely would have to say my Nito Terra Grapplers, G2s, do everything as they should. And hey, they're not all that bad when it comes to gas mileage. Perform well off-road. What else could you ask for? And that's it. I mean, if I had to throw another one in there, I have to say the bolt and nut issue side Baja rack ladder is definitely one of my favorites. I absolutely love the way it looks. It does not block all that much of your visibility. And let's face it, I never use it. And as always, I hope you guys took some information from this video that was useful to you. After all, that is the reason why I put it out there. I don't want by no way, shape, or form you guys to think that I am bashing any of these companies. But at the end of the day, if we do not put our input, how are they going to know if they need to improve or not? Again, if you have any similar issues with some of the upgrades you've made, don't forget to drop them in the comment section down below. After all, this is a great community and we can all help each other by doing so. As always, guys, I appreciate your support. If you haven't done so, don't forget to smash that like button. And come on, what are you waiting for? You're going to subscribe or what? And until the next time, I will catch you guys on the next one. far as installation goes, guys, this is pretty straightforward. You have 2 spots for connectors. This is your heating element, as I'm sure you can see here, and this is blind spot. You're looking right here on the green would be your OEM, and they come with these 2 clips. What you want to do is swap one of the clips, as there's only a spot for 1 clip. The blind spot has moved from there to there, not too far off. And again, same exact connector as an OEM, and same exact spot for your heated mirror element. Let's go ahead, install this clip, and get this guy on the vehicle. By the way, this is actually for those of you that might want the optional turn signal on the glass itself. As you can see the shape here, keep in mind this is going to be super difficult to show on camera, but I'll do my best. Yeah, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this on camera, but there is a triangle shaped turn signal there for those of you that want it, and it does come with the appropriate wiring for it. I personally did not want that option, as my mirrors on the bottom of it have the turn signal already. I don't want to add a turn signal to the glass itself. Well, guys, this is like one of those jobs. It's kind of tough to show the details, but what I'm going to put up there on the display is the black clip that you're looking to undo so that you can pull this mirror out. You want to, of course, adjust it so that you can stick your fingers in between the glass itself and the mirror assembly. And don't worry, because if you break this one, you're installing a new one, so be confident. Let's do it. See, it was that hard. I already managed to get it out. And then, of course, we are doing this on the fly. You want to use both hands and hold this guy in place. You got 2 connectors here to worry about. And I'm not even using a pocket screwdriver. I like to undo the heating portion of the mirror first, put that one to the side. And then you got this small guy. You hold it with one hand like this, and you can use your nail. It is that simple. And basically pull the tab and off it goes. On with installing the new one. As the saying goes, installation is the reversal of removal. So let's go ahead. We'll start off with the blind spot, right? Connect that guy up. Of course, you want to hear the click. That tells you you are good to go. Next up, we make sure to connect your heater element plug. I know this is probably not a very good visual, but for those of you that stuck around, I want to reassure you that this is really not that hard to do. You can totally do this. Once you have those 2 connected, like so, in my particular case, I'm not utilizing the turn signal, so I'm just keeping these wires away. In case I need it in the future and change my mind, they're there. And now it's basically a matter of lining up your black clips as before. I know, I am totally covering the camera here, but it's for a good reason. And this basically is going to look a little crazy, but you hear the clicks and you know that you're in business. That's it.